कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये।
ततो जयमुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
देवकीनन्दनाय च
देवकी नन्दनाय च
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद।
श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे राम हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे।
राम राम हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna, you are welcome for continuity of the Bhagavatam study of third canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we are discussing 12th chapter, the creation of Kumara and other creation by Brahma. This chapter has some 57 verses. The first three verses is what's that? So this section is creation of ignorance by Brahma. Why he created ignorance? To keep the conditioned soul bewildered in this material world. And the second is Brahma, and because of this creation of ignorance, Brahma was displeased. He was displeased. Then he created Kumaras. Brahma, Kumara, they refused to increase progeny, and because of that, Brahma was disrespected. So displeased, disrespected. And then there is a creation of Rudra from the anger of the Brahma, and the 11 Rudrani, they started creating something, but their creation was so horrible that Brahma was completely. What happened to Brahma here? Brahma is disturbed. Brahma is disturbed, right? So displeased, disrespected, disturbed. So he said, stop this creation, no need of your creation. Then there is a various manifestation from Brahma's body and mind. These are the 10 sages, Pula, Pulastangri, Vasishtha, they are created from the body of the Brahma. And after that, there is a episode of Vak, which is not of this life of Brahma. This is the purport says one thing, that after Brahma heard 4 seed verses of Bhagavatam, it is not possible that he can go sexually inclined towards his own daughter. So it was previous story, but somehow Maitreya reluctantly told this in order that people should know that even Brahma can be allured by Maya, so others should be more alert. And this is then because of this story, Brahma is distracted. And after this story, Brahma created the Vedas and Varnashram duties. And last portion, Brahma says nothing is actually. He felt deficiency. Creation is not increasing, deficiency. So then he created the Swayambhu Manrupa, Satrupa from his own body, and then they united together and the creation started growing. So this is the total summary of this chapter. But in this you can see these are displeased, disrespected, disturbed, then distracted and deficient. So these are the sort of feeling of the Brahma during the creation. So it means anybody who is interested in creation must know that he will always have these problems. In a family you create somebody, then you have these things. Sometimes you will be displeased, sometimes disrespected, even if you create anything except a spiritual activity, your business, whatever. Creation always has these problems. So this is the Brahmas. So this is one line content of the chapter by Chakravarti Padis. In 12th chapter, Brahma, after creating Kumara, Marichi, Dharam, Adar, produced a couple from his body to increase population. This is the one verse summary of the whole chapter by Chakravarti Pad. Now we are reading the first verse. So this section, Brahma first create ignorance, verse 1 to 3. Maitreya vacha iti te varnitaha kshattaha kalakya paramatmana mahima veda garbho atta yatha sakrishta nibodhame. So this verse says, iti te varnita kshatta. Kshatta is the name of Vidur. Name of Vidur is Kshatta. I read somewhere the meaning of Kshatta, but it's not right now in my memory. Kshatta. Huh? No. Kshatta is something little different. You should find sometime the meaning. What is why Vidur is called Kshatta. Kalakyam means what is called time. Kal Akyam. It means what is called Kal. Paramatmanaha, which is actually manifestation of the Paramatma. Mahima, you have glorified that. Veda Garbha to the Brahma. Brahma has described this to the Brahma. Atha, after that, Yatha Asik Krishna Nibodhame. I want to know his further creation. So this is the Maitreya is continuing. O learned Vidur. So Kshatta means something learned. Huh?
Kshatriya woman to Shudra man.
Kshatriya?
Ramar Kosha dictionary.
Kshatriya woman to Shudra. Shudra woman to Kshatriya.
Born from a Kshatriya woman.
Shudra woman, Kshatriya.
Shudra woman, Kshatriya, Kshata. This is But there must be some other meaning. I remember some other Chakravarti Pada is written somewhere, Kshatta. Oh, learned Vidura.
Kshatri means skilled, intelligent, and wise.
Huh?
Kshatri means skilled, intelligent, and wise. Maybe I don't know whether they are related.
Well, this is called Analoma and Viloma Jatis. And Suta is coming in that category.
Brahmana with
Suta, that's Brahma with Kshatri is even Analom,
Brahmana with
and its opposite is Vilom. They are called Suta. They are not qualified for the Vedas, but they discuss Puranas, so they are called Suta. This is Kshata. Anyway, Kshata, generally Kshata, Kshati, Chata, is somebody who's protected, protect, something like that. Protecting from Kshati. Kshati means some injury. One who protects from some injury. But this Kshata has some other meaning also. O learned Vidura, so far I have explained to you the glories of the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead in his feature of Kal. Can you see exactly all these words in the verse? Can you see in Sanskrit all these words as it is? Madhurya said, O learned Vidura Kshata, so far I have explained to you the glories of Mahima from the Supreme Personality of God, Paramatmana, is a feature of Kalakyam. Right? Now you can hear from me about the creation of Brahma, the reservoir of Veda, all Vedic knowledge, Veda Garbha. It's okay? So there's no purport to this verse, I think. Going to the next verse. Connection. Unless a living entity forget his real identity as eternal servant of Krishna, it is impossible for him to live in material condition of life. So Brahma first created ignorance as a matter of necessity. Because if you remember, I am eternal servant of Krishna, then why you live in this world? What is the characteristic of this world in human life? You are miserable, but you think I am happy. So why should one live such place? So sa ja agre andhata sasarja agre. Agre means first. Agre. What he created? Tamasrim. Atha tamasrim to adikrit mahamoham, moham and tamas. Cha agyana vrittyaha. They are all agyana vrittya. They are exactly same, the 5 avidya. 5 type of avidya. What are those names? Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha, Asmita and Avidya. They are exactly same. Only the names are different because this is also ignorance. He created ignorance. So in the purport we have this little Chakravarti Pada has given the Srila Prabhupada writes, before the factual creation of living entity in different varieties of species, the condition under which the living entity in the material world has to live were created by Brahma. Unless a living entity forget his real identity, it's impossible for him to live in material conditions. Then Srila Prabhupada writes what actually all these 5 ignorances are that causes him entrapped in the material world. Chakravarti Pada writes, the function of ignorance had already been established. Already we know avidya, part of the Maya. What are the 3 parts of Maya? Avidya, Vidya, and Pradhan, Mahatattva. Mahatva to creation is real. Avidya creation is illusion. And Vidya creation is true. counteract avidya. So these are the three functions of the Maya. So this is already described. At the beginning of Delhi, at the beginning of Delhi creation means the beginning of a day of Brahma Kalpa. They make their appearance in various forms, starting with Tama, directly from Brahma. Tama means ignorance of the Swarup of the Jiva. Tama, ignorance means Swarup of the Jiva. Moha means identification of self with body. Ahankar. Mahamoha means applying possessiveness to objects of enjoyment. Tamasar means the appearance of anger within the mental functions when one's enjoyment is obstructed. Tamasar. And Andhatamasar means an unconsciousness state brought on by anger. This means death. Not present in Jiva. These were created by ignorance or avidya. Vishnu Puran says what is avidya. Tamas means lack of discrimination. Moh means mistaken identity in the mind. Mahamoh means desire for happiness from material objects. Andhatamasar means death. And Tamasar means anger. These five types of ignorance made their appearance from Brahma. In Yoga Sutra, Patanjali says this is the language of Patanjali for the same thing. Asmita, Rag, Dvesh, Abhinivesh, all these avidya, these are the names of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So they are same. So, ignorance, tamas, false identity, moh, attachment, mahamoh, repulsion, tamasar, fear of death, andhatamasar are the five types of ignorance. And Vishnu Swami is Rudra Sampradaya principal Acharya. He says, ignorance of Swarup, false identity, hatred, fear and lamentation are actually only two functions of avidya. Avaram and Vikshep. These are the two main functions of vidya. Avidya that make all these. Avaran is called avidya tamas or agyan, and Vikshep is called asmita, moh or viprayaya. So these are some technical words used in the in Vedic terminology. They are more or less so same from a different scriptures. Now after that, next part of this third verse. Drishtya papyasim srishtim. This srishti is sinful, papyastim. Na atamanam bahava amantaya bhagavadhyana putena manasanyam tatos asraja. So, seeing such a misleading creation, papishta, as sinful task, sinful papishta, Brahma did not feel much pleasure, displeased. And therefore he purified himself by meditation on personality of Godhead. Then he began another type of creation, form of creation. So this word, all D are taken from Chakravarti Pal. Seeing the sinful nature of the creation, Brahma was not satisfied with himself. He again created out the creation by mind, purified with meditation on the Lord. Srila Prabhupada writes, although he created the different influences of nescience, Lord Brahma was not satisfied in performing such thankless task. Anywhere else you have read this thankless task word? Maya in first canto, 7th chapter, when Vyasadeva in meditation saw the influence of the material energy controlling all the jiva, There, Srila Prabhupada described Maya as two functions: thankless function of keeping the living entities in the material world and also giving them and rectifying them, like a prison. In a prison you have two functions. So they are thankless tasks. She knows the jiva are part and parcel of God, but she has to put them in this material world. So this is thankless task. So same thankless task Brahma. But he had to do it because most of the conditioned soul wanted to be so. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, now Prabhupada is using 15 is Sarvacham Sardevan Mat Samartar Jnanam. Mat Samartar Jnanam. So this part Srila Prabhupada is using for creating this ignorance. That somebody wants to remain ignorant, so Krishna says, I will keep him in ignorance. And somebody wants to know, so he gives them knowledge. So this is so question may be raised: why Lord, who is all merciful, help one to remember and another to forget? Why? Lord is all merciful. Actually, his mercy is not exhibited in partiality towards one and enmity towards another. Actually, his mercy is not the living entity as part and parcel of Lord is partially independent because he partially possesses all the qualities of the Lord. Anyone who has some independence may sometimes misuse it due to ignorance. When the living entity prefers to mistake his independence and glide down towards nescience, the all-merciful Lord first of all tries to protect him from the trap. But when the living entity persists in gliding down to hell, the Lord helps to forget him his real position. So this question, Prabhupada, actually, Lord is merciful. Why somebody he keep in ignorance and to someone he give knowledge? Because of what living entity choose. What he choose, because he is independent to choose. He has a independence to go to the temple or to the bar. So it is his choice. But it's still Lord, if they ask from Lord, he is reluctant to give. The one example is like this. Lord is all merciful. He loves his children. You are father, you have a 5-year-old son, you are driving a car on a highway, and your son insists, I want to drive. And you hold on the steering, I want to drive, I want to drive. What you first tell him? No, you sit. It's not your job. Please don't disturb me. But he's so insistent, no, I want to drive, I want to drive. What the father will do? He will stop somewhere car and buy a toy car and tell, please you play with this, I will drive this car, you drive this car. This is what actually, when we insist that no, we want to also enjoy, why you are enjoying, we will enjoy. I said, okay, don't make this mistake, no, we want to enjoy. Okay, you get one house, you get one family, you get one factory, you get one country, but then we are trying to really enjoy and we are always frustrated. So this analogy is that firstly he tries to say, don't do this, it's not your job. But if you insist, then he says, okay, do it. And children, you give them twice, they forget you. For some time they don't look towards you. You know, as soon as you give the children, try, he leaves you. And he is busy with that try. That's what is happening here. The Lord helps the falling living entity glide down to the lowest point, just to give him the chance to see if he is happy by misusing his independence. Almost all the conditioned souls who are running in the material world are misusing their independence, and therefore 5 kinds of nescience are imposed upon them. As an obedient servitor of Lord, Brahma created all these as a matter of necessity. But he is not happy in doing so, because a devotee of the Lord naturally does not like to see anyone falling down from his real position. Persons who do not care for the path of realization get full facilities from the Lord for executing their proclivities to the fullest extent, and Brahma help in that procedure without fail. So some other purport is coming in your mind, well, there is a full facilities for fall down. Isha Upanishad, Om Purnamada Purnamidam. So complete facility for knowing God, complete facility for creation, complete facility for fall down also. You see, there are 4 complete there. In that purport you find out there are 4 complete, and one of the complete is full facilities for the fallen soul to entangle in this world. In the Isha Upanishad, Om Purnamada, in this there are 4 or 5 type of complete whole. You remember, you recall now? So this is what Brahma has done. Now we are going to the next verse. Yes?
The don't purpose Prabhupada ने जो लिखा है उसमें जो रेफरेंस श्लोक है Prabhupada says that the living entity wants to enjoy then I give this facility then it lies down. तो कुछ रेफरेंस श्लोक है तो Prabhupada जी ने
This only he has given this one sloka, Jnanam Apohanam Cha. This, and then he says your independence, you can use it for this or that.
because this type of question is very frequently asked by people in general. Why Lord is created such a place where so many different
Because the living entities wants this. But why the government opened the liquor shop? Why not in schools? Because people want that. This is a joke that the milk wala will call in the street, please buy milk, and people go in a line to buy the wine. So what can we do? So this is the desire. This is the desire of the living entity. Misuse of their little independence. Misuse of their little independence. Now,
For this, any shloka is there?
huh?
This, the living entity mysticalizes the independence. For that, any Sanskrit shloka is there? Any reference for that?
I think this is like Lord, all the qualities of the Lord and minute quality are in the living entity. So Lord is Swarat, therefore living entities also have a small intelligence, or small independence. The word Swarat, which is in the first verse, Janamadi Asya, there is a Swarat, Abhigya. Swarat means independent. So, and all qualities of the Lord are in the living entities in minute quality. So this quality of Swarat is in the living entity as a little independence. Right? Swarat is a quality of the Supreme Lord. He is fully independent. So living entity has a minute independence. This is from Swarat word. Now these are the name of the 4 Kumaras. Sanakam cha, Sanandam cha, Sanatanam, Atha Atma Bhu. Atma Bhu means from his own, my mental faculty. Santa Kumaram cha, these are the 4 names. Munim, Nishkriyam, they don't want to create anything. Urdhvaretas, Urdhvareta means brahmachari. Those who want their creative energy, instead of wasting down, carrying it up towards the brain for higher purpose, is called Urdhvareta. Retas means creative energy. Creative energy, which is generally called Retas or semen. So they are called Urdhvareta. 88,000 rishis under Sonak, they were all Urdhvaretas who were listening Bhagavatam. So this is the definition. So you can see the translation is very simple. 4 Kumaras were created from the mind. They were unwilling to adopt materialistic activities because they were highly elevated due to their semen flowing upward. Okay. Srila Prabhupada writes here, he is also not satisfied with Prabhupada such. Therefore created four principal knowledge. So these four Kumaras are four principal knowledge. So it means Vidya, to counteract avidya. First created avidya, now Vidya. And what is that? What are these four principles of Vidya? Sankhya, or empirical philosophy for analytic study of the material condition. One is Sankhya, other is Yoga, or mysticism for liberation of the pure soul from material bondage. Number 3 is Vairagya, the acceptance of complete detachment from the material enjoyment in life to elevate oneself to higher spiritual understanding. And the 4th is Tapa, or the various kinds of voluntary austerity performed for spiritual perfection. Brahma created 4 great sages, Sanak, Sandan, Sanatan and Sant, to entrust them with these 4 principles of spiritual advancement. And they inaugurated their own spiritual party or Sampradaya, known as Kumar Sampradaya, or later on as the Nimbark Sampradaya, for the advancement of bhakti. So these are the Kumaras are considered the incarnation of knowledge. Like Narad is considered the incarnation of bhakti. So they are incarnation of knowledge. And their knowledge has 4 parts. The Sankhya, Yoga, Vairagya and Tapa. Here. 4 aspects of Vidya are Sankhya, Yoga, Vairagya and Tapa. 4 aspects of Vidya. These appeared in the form of 4 Kumaras. Since Vidya is useless without bhakti, so also in present, in these 4 items, a secondary item is bhakti. Thus even Kumara also have bhakti. Bhakti as the principal element takes the form of Narada. Kumara has some bhakti, but condensed bhakti is in Narada. So Kumara has Jnana incarnation and Narada is bhakti incarnation. Now what happened? Brahma spoke to his sons after generating them. My dear sons, he said, now generate progeny. But due to their being attached to Vasudeva, so there is Vasudev Parayan is the most important word in the verse. Vasudev Parayan, one who is completely dependent on Vasudeva. So because they were Vasudev Parayan and they follow the Moksha Dharma. So they wanted to follow the Moksha Dharma and they were Vasudeva Parayan, aimed at liberation, Moksha Dharma. Therefore they express their unwillingness. Now the purport says why somebody should be disobedient to their father. The 4 sons, Brahma, the Kumara, declined to become family men, even on the request of their great father Brahma. Those who are serious, now Prabhupada's advice, those who are serious about gaining release from material bondage, Moksha Dharma, should not be entangled in the false relationship of family bondage. People may ask how the Kumaras could refuse the order of Brahma, who was their father and above all the creators of the universe. The reply is that one who is Vasudeva Parayan or seriously engaged in devotional service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, need not to care for any other obligation. It is enjoyed in Bhagvatam. This is the obligation for the human beings. Those who enter in the family life, they have these obligations. Devarshi Bhutat Nranam Api Rishinam. These are the different dates which the human being has to repay by performing different yajna. Okay? Thus, there is nothing wrong in the act of Kumara. They were Vasudev Prayan. And you have not reached to that section of Bhagavatam. I think this is, fourth canto, Rudra Geet. Rudra Geet, where it says, your father said go and to the Prachetas, your father said go and do auspicious for creation, but your real father is Veda. Your real father is Veda, who tells you not to entangle in this world. So which father you want to follow? So where the Narad spoke some allegory to the Pracheta, there are some 9 or such 11 different words which has a different meaning. So one word is you follow your father, but doesn't mean that it's material father, but follow your Ved as a father. So here, follow the Vasudev Prayan as a father. So the similar, Narad has spoken similar type of thing there. Okay, next. Last verse of this section. On the refusal of sons to obey the order of the father, there was a much anger generated in the mind of Brahma, because he is the in charge of Rajoguna, and Rajoguna always leads to the anger, a passion, which he tried to control and not express. He wanted not to show this, but it came out, difficult to tolerate. So Srila Prabhupada writes, although Kumaras were right in such act of refusal, Brahma, being absorbed in mode of passion, could not check his passionate anger. He did not express it, however, because he knew that his sons were far enlightened in spiritual advancement, and thus he should not express his anger before them. Why he want to repress? Why he want to repress his anger? Because his sons were advanced, he don't want to expose himself in front of them. Brahma was disrespected, avyadhyata. He tried to control the anger. This allows Brahma's Rajasic nature. Previously, his creation of Tamas and the Kumara show his Tamasic and Sattvic nature. So first he created ignorance, that is Tamasic. Then he created the Kumara, that is Sattvic. Because they are incarnation of knowledge, and knowledge is Sattvic. Now he is acting as a Rajasic. So now this is a Rajasic creation. Now he becomes Rajasic, but still, because he's angry, so his creation is going to be controller of thumbs. Now this is the creation of Rudra. Next section. Yes?
ब्रह्मदेव उनको मतलब सामने से भगवान साक्षात दर्शन होगा, फिर भी he is getting anger like an ordinary person. जैसे कि हमें कुछ नहीं मिला तो how do you understand the person as such a?
Good question. Throughout the Bhagavatam, those who have a direct audience of Lord have always after that become angry, like Dhruva Maharaj become angry and fighting with the Yakshas. Then one after one, Prithu Maharaj become angry in the Yajna when they disturbed. Pracheta, after initiated by Shiva, after seeing Lord Vishnu, when they come, they become angry and burning the whole forest. So the principle is that you get devotion by the association and mercy of devotee. Then you may realize the Supreme Lord by that devotion. But still you need the devotee to keep you still on the path. So you need even, this is a Chaitanya Charitamrita verse, Bhakti Janam Haite Bhakta Sange, first line. Second line, when you see God is still Bhakta Sangha Mukhya Ang, You need the association of the devotee even after realizing God or meeting God. So all these devotees, they were, after seeing and meeting and talking with God, they needed some devotee to give them counseling. All of them. They needed some devotee. Vamandev was sitting in front of Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj is so fortunate that he washed the foot of Bali Maharaj, Vamandev, Ganga. That is Ganga. So first he got that Ganga. Nobody had got Ganga. Afterward Ganga came. So how fortunate is Bali Maharaj? But when he was supposed to go to Sutarlok, oh Prahlad Maharaj, you accompany him and give him association. Because even you meet God, you need devotee. This is only the beauty of devotional service. That it continues even after God realization. Throughout the Bhagavatam, this is the principle. And Chaitamrita has this wonderful verse. You find out this verse, Bhakti Janam Aite Bhakta Sange. The first line. Second line is, which is not on my tongue. Even if you realize Supreme Lord, and the last line is, Bhakta Sangha Mukhya Ang. Still, the devotees association is a principal limb in your life. So what is the middle line? You find out. This is a Sanskrit verse in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Krishna Prama Janma the Bhakti Mukhya Ang, right? This is the, I think, first verse in chapter 22 something, but, huh? Chapter 22, Madhya Leela, verse number 83. So this verse is telling that, so this verse is the importance of association of devotee actually. So what happened to Brahmaji? Although he tried to curb his anger, it came out from between his eyebrows. And the child mixed blue and red was immediately generated, blue and red. So what is signifying blue and red? Two type of mode, blue and red. Red is anger and blue is black. So just say Rajogun and Tamogun. Right? So Brahma brought himself and his anger under control by his intelligence, but from his brows suddenly appeared a child with a blue and red complexion. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The face of anger is same whether exhibited due to ignorance or knowledge. But the face of a person, if he is angry, he may be angry because of ignorance or knowledge, but it is same. Although Brahma tried to curb his anger, he could not do so, even though he is the supreme being. Such anger in its true color came from between the eyebrows. Eyebrows of Brahma as Rudra, in a mixed color of blue, ignorance, and red, passion, because anger is product of passion and ignorance. Anger is produced by passion and then it transforms into ignorance. Just as Vidya destroy avidya, sometime avidya destroy vidya. Sometime avidya destroy vidya. To show this anger or tamissa, the chief aspect of avidya makes its appearance as Rudra from Brahma, who previously produced vidya as Kumaras. Kumara is vidya and Rudra is avidya. So avidya sometimes become powerful and overcome vidya. Tan manyu means the anger of Brahma. Manyu means anger. Was brought under control by his intelligence, or Brahma and his anger were brought under control by his intelligence. Blue and red are the color which represent anger. Verse number 8. After his birth, yes.
Avidya also disturbs Vidya.
This is like example. Vishnu Chakra Thakur gave example. Usually, intelligence must control the mind, but sometimes mind is so powerful that it overcomes intelligence. And then he gives the example. He said, you have some iron plate and you want to make a hole by a needle. It's not possible. So needle is not powerful to make a hole in a iron plate. So sometime this intelligence become like a needle, and the ignorance is a hard plate, so it won't really penetrate it. So it's hard sometimes to do this. And the another example they gave is like when there is a infection which is by powerful bacteria, the medicine which usually treat the disease is ineffective. The normal medicine which treats some disease become ineffective because of the virulence of the bacteria. The bacteria is more powerful. So avidya sometimes becomes too powerful that vidya is defeated. And everybody of us has the experience of this. We know we are devotee, we are intelligent, but many times some ignorance overcomes us. And we carry some activity which we don't like, but still we do that. This is natural. This Ajamil say, I am Brahman. I am here to pick the flower of mine and wood for the yajna and puja. But by seeing that prostitute, he could not control his mind. He tried, he fought within his mind. But intelligence was defeated by avidya. This is Ajamil is an example in which his intelligence of Brahmanical intelligence was overcome by prostitutes, ignorance. It's natural. Savai Rudra Devanam Purvajo Bhagavan Bhavaha. Bhava means Shankar. Namani Kuru Me Dhata. You have produced me. Dhata means Father. Please name me. Sthanani cha Jagat Guru. Brahma is Jagat Guru. Please give me place where I should live. So this is what Rudra asked. What is my name? And please give me places. After his birth, he began to cry, Rudra. O destiny, Vidhata, destiny maker, teacher of the universe, Jagat Guru, kindly designate my name and place. Child asked for name and place. Verse 9. Iti tasya vacha padamo. Padma means Brahma. One was born on Padma. Bhagavan paripalayan abhyadhada bhadraya vacha marodis tat karomi me. Don't cry, I will give you place and your names. The all-powerful Brahma, Bhagavan, who was born from the lotus Padma, pacified the boy with gentle words, Vacha, accepting this request and said, do not cry, I shall certainly do as you desire. And the verse number 10, 8 to 10, name, giving name. Yada arodhiya sura sreshtaha soda vega iva balakaha tatastvam abhidhasyanti namana rudra iti praja. Yad arodhita surasreshta. You are the best among the demigods. Surasreshta, right? Oh, thereafter Brahma said, O chief of the demigods, Surasreshta, you shall be called by the name Rudra by all people because you have so anxiously cried. Rudra means crying. And Ravan also meant ones who cry and makes others cry. Rudra. Your name is Rudra. Next. Where you should live? Hridayendriyani asau vayoma Vayur Agni Jalam Mahi Suryas Chandras Tapas Chaiva Sthanani Agare Kirtani Te. He gave these places for the Rudra to live. Rudra means anger, crying. So he gives the place. Which places? My dear boy, I have already selected the following places for you to reside. The heart, the sense of the air, senses, the air of life, the sky, the air, the fire, the water, the earth, a sun, a moon, and austerity. There should be purport on this, yes. Creation of Rudra from between the eyebrows of Brahma is a result of his anger, generated from the mode of passion, partly touched by ignorance, is very significant. In Bhagavad Gita 3:37, the principle of Rudra is described. What is this verse? Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajogun, Samudbhava, Mahasana. And after that, where this lust reside? The three main places there. What are the three places? Mind, intelligence, and senses. So already most of the things since Prabhupada is quoting this verse, right? The product of anger is the product of kama, which is the result of mode of passion. When lust and hankering are unmanifested, the element, unsatisfied, the element krodha appears, which is formidable enemy of the conditioned soul. Ma shano ma papma. This most sinful inimical passion is represented as ahankar, or the false egocentric attitude of thinking oneself to be all in all. Such an egocentric attitude on the part of the conditioned soul, who is completely under the control of material nature, is described in Bhagavad Gita as foolish. Ahankar mood atma karta amiti uchyate. This is the verse of Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada did not give the verse, but this is the verse, right? Mood, foolish means mood, right? Bhagavad Gita is a foolish. The egocentric attitude is manifested of the Rudra principle. Rudra principle means anger. In the heart, wherein krodha is generated. The anger develops in the heart and further manifests through the various senses, like the eyes, hands, legs. Anger, hands, legs se kya? Mukka maro, lat maro. This is the anger manifesting from the heart and then acting through the legs and hands, right? Okay, through the eyes. The lust is subtle, you can't see. But when it transforms into anger, you see in the eyes. From eyes, anger is noticed. When the man is angry, he expresses his anger with red hot eyes and sometimes make a display of clenching his fist and kicking his legs. His eyes become red hot. Anywhere else you have read the hot eyes? Huh? Arjuna, when capturing Ashwastama, and his eyes are red hot like copper, right? And Krishna, even when he's angry, his eyes are never red, because there's a difference between the anger of the Lord and anger of the living entity. So red hot eyes. Now what are the other things? When the man is angry, he breathes very rapidly. And then the Rudra is represented in the air of life. Lambe saans lega. Krodhi. So this is in the air. are in the activity of the breathing. When the sky is overcast with the dense cloud, the roars in the anger, when he become shout, then his sound goes into the space. So it is in this space. When the wind blows very fastly, the Rudra principle is manifested. And so also when the sea water is infiltrated by the wind, it appears in gloomy feature of the Rudra, which is very fearful to the common man. So this is cyclone, something like that, is also Rudra principle. In the sea, tsunami. When fire is ablaze, we can also experience the presence of Rudra. And when there is an inundation over the earth, we can understand that this is also the representation of Rudra. So these are the different Rudra. Any way people fight, there is a fire, there is some calamity. It is a Rudra principle in the different elements. There are many earthly creatures who constantly represent Rudra element. Snake, tiger and lion are always representation of Rudra. Sometimes because of the extreme heat of the sun, there are cases of heat stroke, and due to the extreme coldness created by the moon, there are cases of collapse. There are many sages empowered with the influence of the austerity, and many yogis, philosophers and renouncers who sometimes exhibit their acquired power under the influence of Rudra principle of anger and passion. The great sage Durvasa, under the influence of Rudra principle, picked a quarrel with Maharaj Ambarish, and the Brahman boy exhibited the Rudra principle by cursing King Parikshat. So the whole purport is what is Rudra principle and who is affected by Rudra principle. This is confirmed as follows. Yanya Arvindaksha Bhokta Manina. This is a verse from 10:2, 32. Okay, Chakravarti Pad writes, since the place starting with heart arise from Ahankar, they are suitable places of residence for Rudra. So, since the place is starting with heart arising from Ahankar, heart means mind, which is creation of the false ego. In a creation, how the mind is created? False ego in mode of goodness. This is what it means. Heart here means mind. From Ahankar, and they are suitable places for residence of the Rudra, who act as a presiding deity. Now see this thing you should remember. Who is the presiding deity for the false ego? Rudra. Rudra is a presiding deity for false ego. And who other is the presiding deity for false ego? Sankarshan. Sankarshan is a presiding deity for false ego. And Lord Rudra worships Sankarshan. In a 5th canto, the 11th verse, Lord Shankar worshipped Sankarshan with Parvati. So Sankarshan is also presiding deity. You know this Antakaran 4 parts? Mind, intelligence, false ego and polluted consciousness. They have 4 presiding deities. Vasudeva for Chitta, Sankarshan for false ego, and Pradyumna and Anuruddha for the mind and intelligence. And also for mind is a moon. And for Ahankar is Rudra. Rudra is also presiding deity of Ahankar. When is a false ego, Rudra. True ego, Sankarshan. True ego means Sankarshan means Baldev, means he teaches you to become servant of Krishna. That is true ego. So that's why it's false ego, there must be true ego. So there are 2 for that. This is in fourth canto, the presiding deities of the four part of the Antahkarana or internal energies. Okay? So this is very clear here why Prabhupada has written false ego. So the presiding deity of the false ego is Rudra.
Rudra or Shankar, is the same Lord Shiva, right? Rudra.
What?
Rudra and Shiva.
They are one and same actually. There are different names of Rudra now coming 11 names. One of them is Chambu. There are 11 personalities, Rudra and 11 personalities. And he has 11 Rudranis, there his wife. This is coming next. In relation to anger, the heart is the birthplace of anger. When the anger increases, it also resides in the senses, such as eyes, hands, and feet. This action is suggested. Residence in the prana aso means that respiration in the nostril increases. Anger is represented in the ether by ferocious sound of the lion, in the air by drying up anger, in the fire by burning, and in the water by flooding. So how these all items, when they are angry, how do we see that? It is presented in the earth by its transformation into various weapons. How is that? From earth to various weapons, how is that? In 12th chapter, 12th canto of Bhagvatam, where there are 24 gurus, where earth is also guru, and earth has two parts. The land and the mountains are also part of the earth. And all these minerals are coming from the mountains or under earth, which is iron and other, from which the weapons are made. And also trees are included as a part of the earth and the tolerance of the trees and earth. So these are the qualities there, how earth is acting. So earth, weapon. Anger is represented by a combination of the elements in animals like lion, tiger and snake. Prabhupada has given these same things. Anger resides in the sun and moon in the form of heat and snow. When it is May, June, sun is Rudra principle. And in Himalayas, when it is January, February, is a Rudra principle. So it means in Russia, Rudra principle is for 10 years. 10 months. 10 months, this is always there's a cold. So Rudra principle is, in all those countries where there's a snowfall, is a Rudra principle. Okay. Which causes death? It means heat and cold which causes death. Prabhupada has used this. Heat is stroke. And then collapse due to cold. Austerity and also other practices such as Sankhya, Yoga and Vairagya without bhakti as protection become places of anger. If they are jnanis and they are tyagis, they are always angry if there is no bhakti. That is also Rudra principle. Thus the prachetas as described, prachetas are described as tappadipita manyavaha. Tappadipita manyavaha. They came after seeing the Lord Vishnu. They met Rudra, but then become angry, and the word uses tappa means austerity, dipit means shining, manyo means angry, inflamed with anger because of austerities. And then Yanya Arvind Nakshman, the same verse is here. Next verse. Manyo, Mano, Mahiman. So these are the 11 names of the Rudra. Mahan Shiva, Ritadvajaha, Ugra Retaha, Bhavaha, Kalo, Vama, Devo. So these are the names. Lord Brahma said, my dear boy Rudra, you have 11 other names. 11 other names. One is Rudra, 11 other. Huh? No. Manyo, Manu, Mahensa, Mahan, Shiva, Ritadhwaja, Ugra, Reta, Bhavaha, Kala, Vamadev, and Dhritarashtra. And then he has 11 Rudranis. O Rudra, you also have 11 wives called Rudranis. They are as follows. Dhihi, Dhriti, Rasala, Uma, Niu, Sarapi, Ila, Ambika, Iravati, Swadha, and Diksha. And then, my dear boy, you may now accept all the names and places designated for you and your different wives. And since you are now one of the master of living entities, progenitor, Prajapati, you may increase the population on the large scale because you are Prajapati. Prajabhava, Prajanam Asa. So, what will happen? Brahma, as the father of Rudra, selected the wife for his sons, for his son, his living places and his names as well. Prabhupada is taking the principle. So it is natural that one should accept the wife selected by one's father, just as son accepts the name given by the father, or as he accepts the property offered by the father. Is this principle followed nowadays? No. So why Prabhupada is writing this purport? Because people are neglecting this principle. So who gave you name? Father. So he should arrange for your residence and for your wife. This is what Brahma has done for Rudra. So this is a principle Prabhupada is teaching. That is the general course and increase of population of the world. On the other hand, the Kumaras did not accept the offering of his, their father because they were elevated far beyond the business of the generating a great number of sons. As the son can refuse the order of father for higher purpose, so the father can refuse to maintain his son in increasing population because of higher purposes. So they both can have facility. Verse number 15. So 15, 16, Rudra created progeny. So what now Rudra created? I take this as a Rudra's creation, as a modern creation. Therefore they stop now. Don't create. Now they are not having children because they were creating some ghost. That's what Rudra was creating. And Brahma said, stop your creation. You just wait for destruction. So I use this for the modern people. They don't have children. One children, no children. One children, no children. Because why they are not producing? Because they are producing unwanted children. So these are the children of Shankar. Most powerful Rudra, whose bodily color was blue mixed with red, created many offspring exactly resembling him in feature. So these are the Rakshasas, like strength and furious nature. Rudra created large offspring like him. And then the sons and grandsons generated by Rudra was unlimited in number. And when they assembled together, they attempted to devour the entire universe. When Brahma, the father of the living entities, saw this, he became afraid of situation. Generation of Rudra, the incarnation of anger, were so dangerous to the maintenance of the universal affair that when Brahma, the father of the living entities, became afraid of them, so he called devotees or followers of the Rudra are also Nisans. The so-called devotees or followers of Rudra are also Nisans. What Prabhupada is saying, they have Bhang and Ganja, their type of people are same followers of the Shiva. They are sometimes dangerous even to the Rudra himself, like Bhasmasu. Descendants of Rudra sometimes make plans to kill Rudra. By the grace of Rudra, that is the nature of his devotees, his followers. Verse 17. Brahma told Rudra, O best among the demigods, Mahadev, there's no need for you to generate living entities of this nature. They have begun to devastated everything on all sides with the fiery flames from their eyes. And they have even attacked me. They want to devour me. Stop this. And then, my dear son, you had better situate yourself in penance, which is auspicious for all living entities, and which will bring all benediction upon you. By penance only shall you be able to create the universe as it was before. So wait, I create and then you will destroy this. You are not for this purpose. The creation, maintenance, dissolution of the cosmic manifestation, three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So Shankar has to wait for dissolution. Such destructive activities of the Shiva are not beneficial at the time of creation and maintenance of the universe. Thus he should engage in austerity, which will produce opposite result. Creation as previously. Normally one should say, just as you destroy the universe at the end of previous kalp, so afterwards you will also destroy it. Some person explained that in some kalpa, Shiva acts as a Brahma and also create. Others say that this statement means that the Lord identifies himself as being one with Shiva, as he says in the following verse. By austerity I create, destroy, maintain the universe again and again. My power arises from intense austerity. 2:9:23. Lord is saying this. So these are the other alternative Chakravarti Pad is giving us. Rudra, the three meaning that you create after tapasya. One meaning is after at the end of creation you dissolve it as you are doing. This is your job. And sometimes there is no qualified Brahma, so maybe Shankar act as a Brahma, so he has to create at that time. The third aspect is sometimes Lord identifies with Shiva and he said, I create by my austerities. So these are the three aspects Chakravarti Pada is given. The verse is from Bhagvatam. And then Tapasve Param Jyoti. By penance only can one even approach the personality of Godhead who is within the heart of every living entity and at the same time beyond the reach of all senses. So you do austerity. Therefore we see always Lord Shiva as in Samadhi, or he is speaking Harikatha. So Rudra was advised by Brahma to perform penance as an example to his sons and followers, that penance is necessary for attaining the favor of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita it is stated that common mass of people follow the path shown by the authority. Thus Brahma, disguised with the Rudra generation and afraid of being devoured by the increase of population, asked Rudra to stop producing such an unwanted generation and take to penance for attaining the favor of the Supreme Lord. We find therefore in picture that Rudra is always sitting in meditation for attainment of the favor of the Lord. Indirectly, the son and follower of the Rudra are advised to stop the business of annihilation, following the Rudra principle, while the peaceful creation of the Brahma is going on. So Rudra is always in austerity. Why there's a snake around the neck of the Shiva? Huh? Yeah, because he follows the Sankarshan who is Shesh, so he keeps that symbol. And because also he is Rudra, and this Prabhupada writes lion and snake, there is that principle, Rudra principle as around his neck. So both can be said now. Last verse of this section, Maitreya says, what he says, Maitreya said, thus Rudra, having been ordered by Brahma, circumambulated his father, the master of the Vedas. Addressing him with the words of assent, he entered the forest to perform austerity and penance. So the Rudra part of is over. Now the next part. Next part is this simple. This chart will finish these verses from 21 to 27. The manifestation from the body and mind of the Brahma. What is manifested from body and mind of the Brahma? In the verse 21 to 24, 10 sons of Brahma. Narad, deliberation, best part of the body, usually from the heart. And Vashish from breathing, Daksh from thumb, Bhrigu from touch, and Kartu from hand, Pulastha from ear, Angira from mouth, Atri from eyes, and Marichi from mind, and Pula, navel of the Brahma. And then into verse number 25, Brahma created dharma and adharma. So religion came from the right breast. Right breast where Paramatma is situated. And religion came from the back where death, Jiva's death takes. So now the last verse is verse number 26. Factor which instigate adharma. What are these factors and where they reside? The lust and desire, they reside in the heart. Anger between the eyebrows. Greed on the lips. Power of speaking, walk, mouth. Ocean, penis. Low and abdominal activities, anus, the source of all sins. And the last verse 27 says, Kardam was created from the shadow of Brahma splendor. So these are the verse 27.
So it is said the Paramatma is on the right side, but
It's on the left side. It is in the heart.
so that's my question. So it is mentioned as right side, whereas
But
it is
it says from the right chest, from the right breast where Paramatma is situated. How is this? Let us see this verse. This is verse 20, verse 2, 25. So this chart gives the description of up till verse 27. So which verse we have to see for the purport? The whole process of creation, maintenance, dissolution of the cosmic manifestation is meant to give the conditions of a chance go back home, back to Godhead. So let us read the whole purport. Yeah, but let's read this whole. Rudra began to devour the whole creation, and thus he had to stop from such devastating activities. Rudra is Vaishnava. Vaishnava nam yatha sambhu. So he used to wear the Vaishnava tilak early. But when he has this type of creation which was creating problem, so Brahma said, better you have some other tilak that people should not be confused that they are Vaishnavas. So this is actually, he is a Vaishnava. He knew very well. Brahma therefore created another set of good children who were mostly in favor of worldly fruitive activities, karma. He knew very well, however, that without devotion to the Lord, there is hardly any benefit for the conditioned soul, and therefore he at the last created the worthy son Narad, who is the supreme spiritual master of all transcendentalists. Without devotional service to the Lord, one cannot make progress in any department of activity. Although the path of devotional service is always independent of anything material, only the transcendental loving service of the Lord can deliver the real goal of life, and thus the service rendered by Sriman Narad Muni is highest among all the sons of Brahma. Maybe a question, which son of the Brahma has the highest service? This verse describes how Marichi and others appeared as representative of Karma Yoga. Jnana, Vairag, Tap, Yog, Karma. This verse describes how the Marichi and others appeared as representative of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Vairagya, Tapa, Yoga, Karma only. And Karma only becomes successful by performance of bhakti. And bhakti, on the other hand, does not depend on these processes. It gives all results. It is the very form of all result. Thus, bhakti is represented at the end and appear in the form of Narad. You see, this purport Prabhupada has expanded on this purport. He elaborated on this purport. Verse 23, we know who Srila Prabhupada writes. Narad was born from the best deliberation of Brahma because Narad was able to deliver there's a meaning of Narad given in this verse, I think. The Supreme Lord to anyone he liked. The Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be realized by any amount of Vedic knowledge or by any number of penances. But a pure devotee of the Lord like Narad can deliver the Supreme Lord by his good will. The very name Narad suggests that he can deliver the Supreme Lord. Nar means the Supreme. Nar means Supreme Lord. And the means one who can deliver. Nar means Supreme Lord, Narayan. The one who gives the Supreme Lord is called Narada. That he can deliver the Supreme Lord does not mean that Lord is like a commodity that can be delivered to anyone. But Narada can deliver to anyone the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As a servitor, friend, parent or lover, he can give Dasya Bhakti, Sakya Bhakti, Vatsalya Bhakti or Madhurya Bhakti. In other words, it is Narada who can deliver the path of Bhakti, the highest mystic means of attainment of the Supreme Lord. Here the meaning of Narada. Utsangat means from the lap, the place of affection. Another meaning is from association with great devotees. It is said, Apo Nara iti prokta. Nar means water, the offspring of the Lord. Thus it is understood that Narad refers to Supreme Lord. Nar means that which belongs to Lord. Narad means that who gives Dasya, Sakya and other relationship with Lord. In other words, Narad means Bhakti Yoga, which produces such a relationship. So, Utsangat, what is the word Utsangat? Utsangan Nardo Jagne Daksho Angushthata Utsangat. Nardo, Utsangat means by transcendental deliberation, by good association, which means bhakti comes from good association. Now, which verse we were supposed to see? 26th? 25. So 21 to 24, 10 sons of Brahma. Purport, religion, irreligion. So before that, right? Or here. Religion was manifested from the breast of Brahma. Herein is seated the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. So this is the verse. Let's see. Dharma stanad dakshinato. Dakshin means right. Vama left. Dakshinato. Yatra Narayana Swayam. I think we think that our heart is on left side, so Lord is on the left side in this heart. It's not physical heart actually. We have a concept of physical heart which is on the left side. It's right. Say left side of the Lord there is a Lakshmi. So Lord is in the chest, and right side it says Narayan is on the Dakshana. Dakshana means right. So I think we have false conception because we know this heart is on the left side, so Lord is on the left side. This is Dharma Istanad, Dakshana Istanad means chest or breast. Yatra Narayana Swayamaha Adharmam Prishtaho Yasman Mrityuho Loka Bhayankara. So Adharma. So now the purport, religion was manifested from the place where personality of God is personally situated is very significant because religion means devotional service to the personality of God. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, as well as Bhagvatam. In the Bhagavad Gita, the last instruction, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam also confirmed that the highest perfection of religion is that which leads to the devotional service of the Lord, unmotivated, unhampered. Now you can know the verse. Verse of Bhagavad Gita is Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Verse of Bhagavatam is Savai Punsham Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adokshaya. Because two words, unmotivated, tells that, right? Okay. Religion is just opposite. Heart is most important part of the body, whereas back is the most neglected part. When one is attacked by an enemy, one is apt to endure attack on the back and protect himself carefully from all attacks on the chest. All type of religion spring from the back of Brahma, whereas real religion, devotion, service of Lord is generated from the chest, the seat of Narayan. The portion is the chest of the Supreme Lord, where the affection is. Portion is one of the subject matter of Bhagavatam. Anything which does not lead to the devotion service of the Lord is religion. And anything which leads to devotion service of the Lord is called religion. Supreme Dharma appears from the action prescribed in the Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. The heart or breast is considered the best place, since it is location of affection, portion. Adharma refers to non-performance of prescribed dharma and performance of forbidden acts. Adharma appeared on Brahma's back, which is not attractive and is not place of affection. So Prabhupada said, we get the blow on the back and protect the chest. Now the 21 to 27, manifestation of body and mind of Brahma, 26th verse. Hriday kamo bhuva krodho. So we have done this, bhuva krodho, and at this chart we have seen this. Prabhupada's purport, conditioned soul is under the influence of mental speculation. However great one may be in the estimation of the mundane education and learning, he cannot be free from the influence of the psychic activities. Therefore, it is very difficult to give up lust and desires for low activities until one is in the line of devotional service of the Lord. When one is frustrated in lust and low desire, anger is generated from the mind and expressed from between the eyebrows. Ardent men are therefore advised to concentrate the mind by focusing on the place between the eyebrows. Whereas devotees of the Lord are already practiced to place the Supreme Lord on the seat of their mind. The theory of becoming desireless is untenable, because the mind cannot be made desireless. When it is recommended that one be desireless, it is understood that one should not desire anything which are destructive to the spiritual values. A devotee of Lord always has a Lord in his mind, and thus he does not need to be desireless, because all his desires are in relationship with the service of the Lord. The power of speaking is called Saraswati, or the goddess of learning, and birthplace of the goddess of learning is mouth of the Brahma. And even if man is endowed with the favor of the goddess of learning, it is quite possible for his heart to be full of lust and material desires, and his eyebrows to display symptom of anger. One may be very learned in mundane estimation, but that does not mean that he is free from all low activities of lust and anger. Good qualification can be expected only from pure devotee, who is always engaged in the thought of Lord or in samadhi with faith. This verse describes the appearance of factors which instigate adharma. Factors which instigate adharma, such as lust, Hirdi means in the mind. Because of the independent nature of the mind, it is impossible to uproot lust situated there. Though anger and other items also arise from the mind, their place of becoming visible, such as eyebrows, are mentioned here. Though human possess lust and anger, it is possible for them to develop wisdom composed of knowledge of scripture. To show this, the manifestation of wise word is described. Speech aroused from might. So, the Saraswati is important if we follow the scripture. So now, last verse of this section. Sage Kardam, husband of the great devotee, was manifested from the shadow of the Brahma. Thus all become manifested from either the body or mind of the Brahma. Prabhupada writes different modes act at different times, but there is some mode always there. Therefore, all sun generated from the body and mind of the Brahma were in mode of passion and ignorance. But some of them, like Kardam, were born in the mode of goodness. Narad was born in transcendental state of Brahma, beyond modes, because bhakti is beyond mode. So Kardam in mode of goodness. Now next section, 28 to 33, Vak episode. So Vak episode we simply, I think, discuss like this. Oh, my charge. Vak, I think everybody knows Brahma created beautiful girl Vak, and then he was sexually inclined to that and running behind that, and his son Marichi and others told, what are you doing? Father, it's not befitting to you. Still, he was not listening to them. Then they prayed to the Supreme Lord, please you protect him from this disaster. And then Brahma resisted. And then the commentary says, this happened only before Brahma got the Chaturshloki Bhagvatam. So it means in a different day. But why Maitreya told this? Because first he was reluctant to tell this. But then he thought, well, it is good, maybe good lesson for the people that even Brahma is agitated, so what to speak of creation of Brahma. So everybody should be more careful. And then in the purport there is something. Hare Krishna, क्लास में आए आपको गला है तो अध क्लास हमको. So something else described in this purport is
Here, nowhere it's given that Brahma ran behind her, but still, many times it's spoken in the class. So where any reference?
read the verse.
Yeah, it is said he got attracted.
Attracted, it means they saw that he's a. Then the other thing which I want to tell, Srila Prabhupada's purport says from other part of Bhagavatam that maybe mother, sister, or daughter, the young girl and young man should not be together because the lust is uncontrollable. Now, this is the whole Prabhupada's purport on this. And ultimately, the main point we have to remember this, even if Brahma was attracted towards his daughter Vak, but still he is considered the most powerful great devotee of the Lord. So the example is given, sun, he dry all the dirty, filthy places, sun is not affected by that. So Narad said, no, Brahma is not affected by that, and he started creating Veda after that. And all 4 Vedas came from his mouth. And therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once, a devotee from Navadip went to the Jagannath Puri and told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I believe you are God. But Nityananda, I have a doubt because he chew pan and he is having silk dress, he is sannyasi. Mahaprabhu told this story. He said, even Brahma, some fault was seen in Brahma, But if somebody criticizes Brahma, like the son of Marichi, then they become demon. So, even if Nityanand Prabhu, he has a wine bottle in the hand and have a hand around the prostitute, he is worshipable for me. Because you cannot know the intention of Mahajan. So Brahma is not criticized for this in Bhagavatam. That is the main message of this section. Is it okay? So Vidura, we have heard means Maitreya has not seen. So it is not of this kalp. Or it is not of this type, this part, this Brahma. There is Brahma before. We have heard that Brahma had a daughter named Vak who was born from his body and who attracted his mind towards sex, although she was not sexually inclined towards him. Srila Prabhupada writes, Balavan Indriya Gramo Vidyansam Api Karachit 919, 917. So whole is Vidwan Api Akarshati. So this is the whole purport is about this. What I told you, that one should not give chance to the lust. Cannot control lust. This verse shows that one should not remain alone with woman. This is the whole thing. Okay. So, what is other thought? Siddhanta Darpana. When Lord when Krishna blessed Brahma 2:9:36, he meant that in his daily kalpa functions in the creation of the universe, Brahma would not become bewildered by faults such as inequality, etc. He did not mean that Brahma would never be deluded, even his Maya. Lord Balaram and Lord Shiva are superior even to Brahma. But both eventually also became bewildered by Lord Krishna. Shiva was bewildered by Krishna, and Balaram is also bewildered by Krishna. Brahma Vimohan Leela, he was not knowing what's happening. Also, the Samantak Mani, Balaram was doubtful about Krishna. He has a doubt about Krishna. This interpretation is also applied to the verse 2:634, Na Bharti Me. Otherwise, other passages would also be considered as interpolated, such as description in the 12th chapter of the 3rd book about the Brahma being deluded by his daughter, Vak, which meant to remove the conception that he is the Supreme Lord. So it means Brahma is not Supreme Lord. Thus fighting their fathers. So then there is a whole story. Says like Marichi, they were not in submitting the protest against the act of their father. They know who is Brahma. So we go to this will continue till verse number 33. So Brahma's sons are speaking. One who fill his post Brahma must be idle behavior. Set the example for all living entities. Ultimately, they prayed to the Supreme Lord. It is said that supremely powerful living entity can do anything and everything he likes, and such acts do not affect him anyway. Prabhupada is now defending Brahma. For example, the sun. I told you the story of the sun. There's one verse in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, about Himano. The word is Hima. Mahanubhava. Okay, second chapter, verse number, I think 5 or 6. Find out in Bhagavad Gita. Mahanubhava. This is about Bhisham. How should I kill Bhisham? The word is Mahanubhava. And Chakravartipad has a different meaning for this. Hema means ice. And Maha means sun. The sun who melts the ice.
Guruna Hatwari Mahanubhava.
Mahanubhava. Brahma.
Shreyo Bhaktum.
Bhakting Bhaksham api aloke atva api. Yeah. So the Mahanubhava, Sanskrit word, Chakravartipad has divided Maha, Him. Maha, Him, H-E-M-M. Him means ice. So ice is melted by sun. It means sun who melt the ice is not affected by dirty things. So Bhisham even fighting on the side of Kaurava is not actually affected by fault. That's the meaning. So here Brahma is not affected by this act. That is the point.
That shloka also,
Apithe
Apichesu Durachara.
Duracharo. The different meanings are there. There are 3 commentaries on Apithe Duracharo. One is conventional, one is optimistic, and one is Rasik. Rasik commentary is that Krishna, who is Durachari because he is playing with the gopis, anybody who loves the Krishna, he is sadhu. Apite Duracharo. Bhajate Mamana. Even I am playing with the gopis, still he is worshipping me. He is great sadhu. This is the Rasik commentary of this verse. Because it is Durachar to play with the wives of the others, right? Apichetas Duracharo. Even I am playing with the gopis. Bhajate ma mananbhak. Sadhurev mantavye. You accept he is the great devotee. But the other commentary is like, it's not possible for a devotee to do this type of activity. So this is extreme, is something. It's not possible. And the other is liberal. Even somebody commits some mistake because of his. The purport has the Bhakti Vinod Thakur's commentary. There is constitutional and conditional activities of the soul. Constitutional activity, he is acting in devotional service. But condition is body, sometimes he can make mistakes. So that conditional, occasional is forgiven. That's the meaning. So here actually the other verse from Brahma, from Chaitanya Charitamrita is applicable. And what is that? Vaishnava Kriya Mudra Vijnana Jane. The great soul's activities cannot be ascertained by common man. So for Brahma this is applicable. Okay? Brahmananda being enlightened. This indicates that the lust will not dissipate unless the Supreme Lord bestow mercy. Remembering this, the sages then surrendered to the Lord. It means all the sons, they were telling to the Brahma, but still nothing happening. Then there's a lust cannot be controlled by one person's activity. Only Supreme Lord can do that. So then they were praying to the Supreme Lord. What they said? Last verse. The father of all Prajapatis, Brahma, thus seeing all this, his Prajapati's son is speaking in that way, become very much ashamed and at once gave up the body that he accepted. Later that body appeared in all direction as the dangerous fog or direction. So Brahma, they gave up that body. And that is like a fog. And now the next section. Prabhupada writes, the best way to compensate for one's sinful act is to give up one's body at once. And Brahma, the leader of the living entities, showed this by his personal example. Prabhupada told this story maybe sometime, and one of the sannyasis, early sannyasis of Srila Prabhupada, the best singer of that time, Prabhupada used to say, your singing is Vaikuntha man. Vishnujan Swami, he said, okay, then I should give up body. And he gave up his body actually. He entered the Ganga, nobody knows. But he gave up his body actually. So, Oh. Ignorance is cause of sinful activities, and sinful life is the cause of gross ignorance. They are depending on one another. Because of ignorance, there's sinful activities. Because of sinful activities, there's ignorance. So they increase one another. The feature of ignorance is darkness or fog. Prabhupada is saying an analogy. If you are ignorant, it is like a mist or fog. So you can't see the true thing. It still covers the whole universe. And sun is the only constant counteracting principle. One who takes shelter of the Lord, the perpetual light, has no fear of being annihilated by the darkness of fog or ignorance. So sun is the remedy. Giving up his body indicates that the chief remedial measure for great sin is death. Since it is impossible for Brahma to die before his life span of two prarabdha is complete, giving up his body means giving up a disposition. Giving up doesn't mean give body, but giving that disposition. So that mental thought, he has stopped that. So this is what Prabhupada said, but he did not hear but. This Vishnujan Maharaj did not hear. Prabhupada said no, but it says but he did not hear that. So now the next section. 34 to 49, Brahma's further creation. And this is the creation of the four Vedas. Then the four type of austerities. Then the Varna Ashram Dharma and their duties. And all these scriptures, this is all created by Brahma. So even after this incident, Brahma can create this, it means he's pure. That's what the thing. So we can read these verses quickly. Once upon a time means after that. When Brahma was thinking how to create world as in the past millennium, the four Vedas which contain all varieties of knowledge become manifested from his four mouths. Because the process of creation is mentioned in Vedas. So then Vedas are created. So now Prabhupada is in this purport is again giving another example to defend Brahma's walk episode. As fire can consume anything and everything without being contaminated, so by grace of Lord, the fire of Brahma's greatness consumed his desire for sinful act of sex with his daughter. The Vedas are the source of all knowledge, and they were first revealed to Brahma by the mercy of Supreme Lord. So Chakravarti Pad writes, the state of a powerful controller is not harmed by any apparent odious transgression of morality we may see in them, for they are just like fire. This Prabhupada has quoted this verse from 10:33-29. Which section is this of Bhagvatam? Ras dense. So no fault in Krishna is doing this. Dharamaha vyaktikaramo drishta ishvaranam cha sahasam tejasyam na dosyaha vaniha sarva bhujo yatha. Vaniha means fire. So then Supreme Lord, who is impersonal Brahma and the personal Lord, filled the various Shaktis, makes his appearance in Brahma, whose body is composed of Veda, which is audible sound as Vaikari and inaudible as Om. 3:12-48 in this chapter. The verse number 48 says, Lord has impregnated Brahma with both as impersonal and personal. So impersonal is Om, and Vaka and all the Vedic is Vaikari and Om. Next verse. The action of the Hota, Udgata, Adharya and Brahma priest. These are the four type of priests. The various of the sacrifices of the four parts of the dharma. What are the four part of dharma? Satya, Saucha, Tappa and Daya. The ashramas and the occupation appeared from his mouth. So what appeared from his mouth? Four things of dharma. Satya, Saucha, Tappa and Daya. We know same thing in first canto. Okay? So there will be different names in the one purport. And that is also same, which we will come across. Chaturhotram refer to the action of the Hota, Udgata and Adarva and Brahma priest. Kamatantra means profusion of sacrificial act. Ashramas or occupational appeared along with the Upaveda, the scripture on logic. Verse 36, Vidruvacha, what Vidru is asking? O great sage, whose only wealth is penance, kindly explain to me how and which those help Brahma's establishing the Vedic knowledge which emanated from his mouth. Which Veda came from where? So the answer given here is Maitreya is saying, Maitreya says about Brahma, eastern mouth means front. Eastern mouth of the came Rig Veda and the activities of the Hota, the priest Hota, Hare Krishna. Rig Veda and Hota came from the front mouth or eastern mouth. From the southern mouth on the right side, from the right side head. The Yajur Veda and activities of Adharvya, this should be Adharvya, were established. From his western mouth means back. Sam Veda and activities of the Udgata were established. And from his north mouth means the left side came the Atharva Veda and the activities of the Brahma were established. So which mouth came which Veda? So front and then right side is when we look towards the east, on the right side is the south, and our left is the north, and back is the west. So Rigved from the front, and then Yajur from the right, Sam behind, and left from the Atharva. And there are the four type of priests doing that job. They are called Hota, which puts Swaha, the one who chants mantra. They do that. So they are the different names for Hota, Udarva, Udgata and Brahma. Now next verse says, Ayurveda Dhanurvedam Gandhravyam Vedam Atmanah Sthapatyam Chasrjeda Vedam Karamada Purvadbhi Mukha. अब ये जो स्थापत्य कौन सा है? Architect. Sthapat means architect. And so this Dhanurved, Ayurved, the military science, they also came also from the different mouths of Brahma. Brahma created Ayurved, Dhanurved, Gandharved, and Sthapatya, architect. Military science are this Ved, you know, from his mouth, starting from the eastern mouth. Same, you see the first is from front and then same way. There's no trouble here. Prabhupada says military science is also necessary. Itahas Pranani Panchamam Veda Ishwaram. Then Itahas means Mahabharata and Purana means the 18 Purans. They are fifth Veda. They are considered Pancham Veda. Sarvebhyo evaha vaktrebhyam sasarje sarva darshana. Then created the fifth Veda, Puranas and histories, from all his mouth, since he could see all the past, present and future. Sasarje sarva darshana. He can see everything. Next verse. Brahma manifests the fifth Veda. It was not created. This is a Tattva Sandrava. It says Tattva Sandrava 13. The word Veda is directly used to indicate the Purana and Itihasa. The Tattva Sandrava says, Baldev Vidabhushan's commentary, the word Sasarje, Brahma manifested fifth Veda. It was not created. It means they are eternal. They just manifest. They manifested. So the two further quotes on that. Then Sodash And Ukta, recitation for sacrifice, appeared from Brahma's eastern mouth. Preparation of the fire and Agni Stoma, sacrifice, appeared from his southern mouth. Aptoryama means Soma, and Atitartha, beginning and ending, sacrifice, appearing from his western mouth. And Vajpaya, sacrifice, horse, and Goso, cow sacrifice, appeared from his north mouth. So these are the different sacrifices which also appeared. Then comes next. He said he will make chart, he never made chart. You should make chart. He said refer to the chart, he never made a chart. So there's a need of making a chart which appears from where. That will be easy for quick reference. You may have some. 41. Vidya Dhanam Tapo Satyam. Now this is, you have to put these four as a four dharma. But this is Vidya here. Vidya Dhanam Tapo Satyam. Tapo Satyam is the same. Tapo is same, Satyam is same. Now Vidya and Dhanam, you have to make them the two more same limbs of the dharma. What are the two other limbs of dharma? Daya. Dhanam is for daya. If you give somebody to the poor man, it means you are doing daya, right? Dhanam is daya. And Vidya, what is left the other one? Socham. So if you have a knowledge, then you are pure. Vidya makes you pure, means Socham. So these both words are same thing. They are not contradictory. Right? It's okay. Ashramam cha yatha sankyam asarjah saha vrittibhi. So education, Vidya. Charity, Dhanam. Penance and truth are said to be the four legs of religion. And to learn this, there are four orders of life with different classification of caste according to the vocation. Brahma created all these in systematic order. Knowledge means purity. You have knowledge, you have purity. A charity, mercy. And then it is the same thing. Prabhupada writes Brahmacharya, Grastha, Vanprastha, and all these ashram created, and most of the things are very clear. So why it is called purity, a yajna, then some Samrti Shastra is quoted. So I say knowledge means purity and dhan means mercy. So for that some verses are quoted by Chakravarti Pad. Now the Shavitrim Prajapatyam cha Brahma cha Vachvirtastatha Varta Sanchaya Salini Shlochana iti vai grahi. Now this is here. The four type of brahmachari. These are four type of brahmachari. Savitra brahmachari, Prajapati brahmachari, Brahman brahmachari, and Vrata brahmachari. Aroused from the Brahman's four mouths. And four occupation of the householder. Varta, Sancharya, Salini, and Silochana. Siloncha. Aroused from his four mouth. So here gives the Srila Prabhupada is given some meaning of these four type of brahmacharis. They are very easily understood here. After taking the sacred thread ceremony, celibate for 3 nights is called Savitra. You know what happens? Generally people don't have sacred ceremony. Before birth they have a sacred ceremony for a child. Before birth, you have seen this? And before marriage. Before marriage they do sacred yajna sanskar. So if he keep 3 days celibacy, then he is called Savitra. Remaining celibate for 1 year called Prajapatya. After getting sacred thread, if remain 1 year celibate, then is called Prajapatya. Remaining celibate under the learning of the Veda is called Brahma. If he remains celibate up till 25 years, in a Gurukul is called Brahma. Brata means celibate till death. Now this is for brahmachari. These are 4 types of brahmachari. Prabhupada writes in commentary, Our spiritual master is Brata. He was a Khand Brahmachari. And then these are the four grastas. Varta refer to occupation not forbidden, such as agriculture. Sancharya means performance of sacrifice. And Shalini means taking alms without begging. And Salonchana means taking the fallen grains in the field. Shila and Uncha are combined. It's okay. So now the four division of the retired life. Vanprastha are also of four types. What are the four types of Vanprastha? This says from Brahma's mouth, starting from the eastern mouth, arose the four division of Vanprastha. What are they? Vaikshana, Valankhila, Audambara, and Fenapa. From Brahma's four mouths arose the four type of sannyasis: Kutichaka, Bhavavada, Hansa, and Nishkriya. So Chakravarti Path writes, Vaikuntha Vanprastha, say Vaikansa Vanprastha lives on wild grains. The Valkilya gives away accumulated grains on gaining the new grains. Audambar lives off what he acquires by walking in the direction he sees and getting up and morning. They are type of Vanprastha. They get up in morning and they go in any direction. And whatever they get, they eat. They are not, they just start walking. Whatever they get. This is type of Vanprastha. And then there is a Vanprastha. The last Vanprastha is Fenap, lives off grains or fruits which have naturally fallen on the ground. These are the different types of the Vanprastha arising from their different mouths. You can always, all four from the eastern will go like that. There are four types of sannyasis. Kutichak, maintaining concentration on the karma in his own hermitage, Kutya. The Bhavadhaka reject action and mainly concentrate on Jnana. And Hansa, fix in knowledge. And Nishkriya has attained realization. The later types and the list are superior to the previous. So we have the other four types, Prabhupada in other places said. Kutichak, Bhavutak, and Hansa and Parivarjakacharya. No? Paramhansa, Parivarjakacharya and Paramhansa. So this is a little difference in the terminology. Kutichak is when he takes sannyas, then he lives near to his village and the food is coming from the home. This is Kutichak. Bahudak means he go in the next village for some time and then come back. Bahudak is just go a little bit. And then is a Parivarjik means he travels, he not depends on anybody. And Paramhans is completely, okay, 44, verse number 44. Oh, I said by 10 we should finish. We have few minutes left, okay? The science of logical argument, the Vedic goals of life, and also law and order, moral codes, and celebrated hymns, Bhu, Bhava, Swa, all become manifested from the mouth of Brahma. And the Pranava, Omkar, was manifested from his heart. So Bhur, Bhava, Swa, and Om manifested from Brahmaji. So this is all the Vedas manifested. So verse number 45, we are just reaching near Vedic meters. These are the Vedic meters now. Any meter you know? Anushtup is Bhagavad Gita, right? What are the other meters? You can now know here. Ushik is 28 syllable meter, aroused from Brahma's body hairs. Gayatri 24 syllables aroused from his ISKCON. Trishtupa 44 syllables aroused from his muscles. Anushtapa 32 syllables aroused from his veins. And Jagati 48 syllables aroused from Brahma's bones. And then Vedic meters. Next. Panki 40 syllables aroused from his marrow. And Brahti meter 36 aroused from his prana, brati. These are the all different meters of the Sanskrit poetry. Now, this verse describes the origin of various sounds in speaking, like sprasha refer to the 5 classes of consonants with their nasal. Swara refers to the vowels starting with a, o, e. Ushmana refers to the sa, sa, sha, sa, and antishta refers to the semi-vowels yara, la, vash, and sapta swara refers to the musical notes sara, gama, pa. Right? So they all. So Srila Prabhupada has a little purport on these also. That Brahma's life arose from the consonant. From his body arose the vowels. From his senses arose the ushmanas. And the semi-vowels arose from his strength. The 7 musical notes arose from his playing. So Srila Prabhupada has this purport. So these in Sanskrit there are 13 vowel and 35 consonants. So then he says, what are those eka, ka, sara, va, all this? I think this is just knowledge which we can know. And now this verse number 48. Shabda brahmatmanastasya vyaktyah avyakta atmanah paraha brahmavadi bhati vittato nana shaktya upabranita. So Brahma is the personal representation of Supreme Personality of Godhead as source of transcendent sound, and is therefore above the conception of manifested and unmanifested. Brahma is the complete form of absolute truth and is invested with multifarious energies. The Supreme Lord, who is impersonal Brahm and personal Lord, filled with various Shaktis, makes his appearance as Brahma, whose body is composed of Veda, which is audible sound as Vaikhri and inaudible as Om. So this is what is called personal and impersonal, Vaikhri and Om, Vaikhri, and inaudible as a Om. So this Srila Prabhupada's purport. Post of Brahma is highest responsible post within the universe and is offered to the most perfect personality of the universe. Sometimes Supreme Personality of Godhead has to become Brahma when there is no suitable living entity being to occupy the post. In the material world, Brahma is this complete representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So because the verse appears like God appeared as a Brahma, so Prabhupada is explaining that sometime God really become Brahma. So it is all right for that time. Other time, God empower Brahma with all these activities. So Brahma acts as a representative of God. Like Guru is representative of God. So he is as good as God. So similarly, Brahma is as good as God. In what? In creation. In giving the Vedic knowledge. But he is not as good as God in doing Ras dance. Because he was even allured by the walk. So, similarly, Guru is as good as God in giving the mercy of God, His divine grace. He is not as good as God in last dance. It's not Guru is like that. He is not as good as God. He is more than God in bestowing mercy of the God. Therefore, Guru is considered as good as God because he bestows the mercy of the God. Not other things. Guru is not creating world. So this is the Prabhupada is just explaining this thing. Transcendent sound pranava comes from him. He is therefore infested with multifarious energies, from which all the demigods like Indra, Chandra and Varuna are manifested. So giving up his previous body, which becomes mist and darkness after desiring walk, Brahma accepted another body without pollution of forbidden acts of lust. This Shabda Brahma body remains with Brahma at all times. So Brahma has a Shabda Brahma body, which means is a Vedamaya. Yes, Prabhu.
Using this purport expansion, there is a purpose for the exhibition of such a tendency by Brahma. He exhibited tendency to enjoy his own daughter.
Which purport you are referring to?
Same purpose. Prabhupada.
Means Prabhupada's purport.
Prabhupada.
Oh, this is Prabhupada's purport. Which line?
Last line.
Last line. There is a purpose for exhibition of such tendency by Brahma, and he is not to be condemned like an ordinary living entity. There is purpose for, what is the purpose? Purpose to teach other people that even Brahma is allured, we should be at guard. That is the purpose. Okay. Last verse of this section. We are about to finish. This is no verse, only word to word meaning. By the way, they forgot the verse. The verse is Tattaha aparam upadaya saha sargaya manaha dade, is like that, right? Huh? Yeah, 2 lines. So thereafter Brahma occupied another body in which sex life was not forbidden, and thus he engaged himself in matter of further creation. Having given up one body which became darkness, Brahma accepted his other body and concentrated his mind on creation. Prabhupada said sex. Chakravarti is not saying sex. What it means actually is, now he is going to create the one female and one male. Therefore, he has this new body in which he can have now some sense of sex, because the Manu and Shatrupa will now increase the population by mating. So that it means actually. It's not Brahma is going to be having sex, but his body is now creating something which will increase the progeny by mating. Prabhupada's purport. In his former body, which was transcendental, affection for sex life was forbidden. And Brahma, therefore, he had to accept another body to allow himself to become connected with sex, and thus engage himself in matter of creation. The former body transformed into fog, as previously described. Okay. Now last section, 50 to 57, creation of Swayambhu, Manu and Shatrupa. So generally speaking, from his right side, he created some person with the mustaches up here. That is Swayambhu Manu. From left side, he created some woman with the chest, and that is Shatrupa. And he asked them, please you create. And they created 2 sons, Priyavarta and Utanpad, and 3 daughters, the Dehuti, Akuti and Prasuti. Akuti's elder daughter, which married to Sruchi Prajapati. Devuti married to Kardam, and the younger daughter married to Daksh. That's the end of the chapter. This is the last verse of this chapter. So, O son of Kuru, Vidur, when Brahma saw that in spite of presence of sages of the great potency, he was feeling deficiency. There was no sufficient increase in population. He seriously began to consider how the population should be created. So then what happened? Then Brahma thought to himself, alas, it is wonderful that in spite of my being scattered all over, there is still insufficient population throughout the universe. There is no other cause for this misfortune but destiny. This purport is something Ka is called Brahma. Properly engaging himself, Yukta Karta, and seeing his misfortune, one form of Brahma become 2. One form of Brahma become 2. One with a beard and other with breast. Since the 2 bodies were related to Brahma, Ka is called Brahma. And they are known as Kaya, are his descendants. Kaha and Ayan combined to form Kayan, which means descendant of Ka. It means this Brahma's descendant become Manu and Shatrupa. So, descendant of Ka, Brahma. By the rule of Maiden Dictionary, so the syllable Na is dropped from the metrical reason to form the word Kaya. Kaya means body. So Kaya means descendant. Descendant of Brahma. So Kaya means descendant of Ka. And who is Ka? Ka is Brahma. Keshav. Ka, Keshav. One of the meaning of Keshav is Ka is Gudakesh. Gudakesh. You know Gudakesh? What is the meaning of Gudakesh? One who controls the sleep. What is the other meaning? One who controls the ignorance. Sleep means ignorance. Third meaning, Guda. Guda means jaggery. Yes. A, Ka, Sha. Ka means Brahma. Ish means Shankar. One who is beloved for Brahma and Shankar like jaggery is Arjun. Gudakesh. This is the other meaning given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur for Gudakesh. So verse number 25. While he was thus absorbed in contemplation and was observing the supernatural power, two other forms were generated from his body. They were still celebrated as the body of Brahma. So these two parts are descendant of Brahma. So it's called Kaya. Verse 53. The two separated bodies united together in sexual relationship. United together means they had now the sanction for the marital life. Verse number 55. Out of them one had the male form become known as Manu, named Swayambhu, and the woman become Shatrupa, the queen of the great soul Manu. Then what happened? The next verse. Thereafter, by sex intercourse they gradually increased generation of population one after another. What they brought? Verse number 56. The son of Bharth, in due course of time, the Manu begot in Shatrupa 5 children, 2 sons, Priyavat and Uttanpad, 3 daughters, Akuti, Devuti and Prasuti. And last verse. The father Manu handed over his first daughter Akuti to sage Ruchi, the middle daughter Devuti to the sage Kardam, and the younger daughter Prasuti to the Daksha. From them all the world filled with population. So that is the end of this chapter. Why you don't know? But history of the creation of the population of the universe is given here with. Brahma is the original living creature in the universe. From him were generated the Manu, Swayambhu Manu and his wife Satrupa. From Manu 2 sons, 3 daughters were born. And from them all the population in different planets has sprung up until now. Therefore Brahma is known as grandfather of everyone. And personality of Godhead, being the father of Brahma, is known as great grandfather of all beings. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Vayujamo Agni Varuna Sashankaha Prajapati Stvam Prapitamahastam Cha Apar Pitamahascha Namaste Astu Sahasra. This is the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Abhi Namo Namaha. So, end of the chapter. Thus end the commentary on the 12th canto of 12th chapter, 12th chapter of 3rd canto of Bhagavatam for the pleasure of devotees in accordance with the previous Acharya. Chakravarti Pad says, Srila Prabhupada said at the end of Bhaktivedanta purport of 3rd canto, 12th chapter Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Creation of the Kumaras and Others. Hare Krishna. So we finished this. The most of the things are for memorization in this. Who came from where? Vasishtha came from where? Angushta. So you have to remember this. Make a chart, put somewhere, and just always look at it, and then you memorize this. And now tomorrow, not tomorrow, the next thing is appearance of Varadev from the nostril of Brahma, and there are two now. Maitreya is actually mixing two varas together when he is speaking. The one vara coming from the nostril, one vara coming from the ocean, there are two varas. And the two pastimes are completely different. But they are mixed by Maitreya. Hare Krishna. That's chapter 13. Thank you very much. I think we have done some justice. What do you think? Some justice with the subject?